In this video, we're going to talk about our upcoming camping trip, and we're going to show you how we are preparing for it. And you know what, guys? We need your help because this is our very first time boondocking. And you know us Yankees don't know how to boondock. So, any advice, any tips, please let us know in the comments. And remember to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell if you want to be notified of our next video coming up. And be sure to stay to the end because we have a surprise blooper reel. Well, I guess it's not a surprise because I just told you. But anyway, stay to the end.
In preparation for our camping trip, I've been doing some research, looking at Google Earth as well as the available maps that the state of Pennsylvania has put out, and trying to get as much information on this campsite as possible. Unfortunately, there's not a lot documented. I have not been able to get a photograph that anybody's taken or a review of this particular campsite. I've gotten a review on TripAdvisor of the National Forest, which is just north of where we're camping, and there were some very negative reviews on some of those campsites as to how bad a condition they were in, which has led me to some concern about what we're going to find when we get here. Now, where I have the yellow pin is where we're going to be camping. And as I enlarge the screen here, you can see that this is a paved road. And there's a dirt road that comes in here. And if, according to the state map that shows the location of the campsite on it, this is what I think is the actual campsite. Its state map shows the campsite being relatively close to the road. Now, as I enlarge this, you can see there's a relatively large clear area here, and the dirt road goes on through beyond it. A lot of forest here, very little in terms of housing in this area. Yeah. So even if the kids have places that they want to go and hang out and party, there's probably so many spots like that available that this isn't going to be the most desirable one.
So this is a good idea. I didn't know you went on Google Earth and did this, but it's a very good idea when you're picking.
Well, it is. And then there's a little country store down around here someplace. There are lodges. There's another campground, plus there's 2 state parks that have camping. All in all, there are a total of 5 campsites here in this area where we're at. So I would say these are probably about a mile apart, so they're very spread out. You're not going to be interacting with other campers here.
So we've been talking about boondocking because we're going to do it. And I'm very, very afraid. Okay, I will admit that. And look, I know I am not the only woman out there who's, well, some women don't even like to go camping. I don't mind camping, but sometimes I get afraid out there, and boondocking scares me. It's not something that we're used to doing around here. There's always somebody around. We live in New Jersey. It's a very densely populated state, so for me to be out in the middle of the woods where no one is around, I find very, very frightening.
You know, I've been through this before. Some people have a almost intrinsic fear of something that they have no knowledge or experience at. Once you do it, then you realize how easy it was and how your fears were not justified.
Well, that's true, because when we went on the AT, I was very afraid to go hiking on the AT overnight. And I remember I looked up online on YouTube, I looked up some videos. So once I went to the AT, I wasn't so scared after I looked it up. Have you boondocked? Well, you've camped out in the woods.
I have boondocked, not with the trailer. I boondocked tent camping, and I boondocked car camping. I used to have a 4-wheel drive vehicle that I actually would go out and drive it out into the woods and sometimes sleep in it overnight when I was away from home, rather than go to a campground or spend money on a hotel room. So yeah, I've boondocked before.
Was it scary?
No.
Okay. Were you ever scared in the woods?
You know, to be honest with you, I probably have been. Nothing stands out in my mind, but yeah, I've had a couple times when I may have been somewhat intimidated. We were in a campground out in the Rockies when a storm came up,
And where we were at, the trees were so tall that I was afraid that they were blowing around so much. I was afraid that a branch was going to snap off, and if a branch would have fallen on us from one of those trees, the branches were big enough that it could have killed you, crushed your tank, crushed a vehicle, whatever.
Yeah, that's understandable.
That's intimidating. That with the lightning. I've been, when I worked as a counselor at the Boy Scout camp, we had lightning storms up there during the summer that you were afraid to move or touch anything metal because the lightning was like all around you. And I've been up on the Delaware River canoeing when thunderstorms rolled in the summer, and I was intimidated until we got off the water and under a roof.
So I think all those fears are rational fears. Mine, I guess, are irrational, whether it's, a bad person is going to come into camp, or a bear.
Well, I think that to feel intimidated by something that you've never done requires that you've spent some time imagining one or more scenarios that cause that fear. Even if it was just the momentary thought about what if a bear comes at us and can't be spooked off? What if we run into an encounter where somebody drunk or on drugs comes around and wants to harass us in the middle of the night, or rob us or kill us?
They don't have to be drunk or on drugs, okay? And maybe that's part of it. Maybe part of it because of my profession, that I have seen the other side of human nature and I used to work in a prison for a while. So maybe I see some of the bad stuff and it scares me a little too much, and I watch too many or read too many books about mass murderers and stuff.
I think all you have to do nowadays is watch the news enough, and it starts to destroy your faith in
I don't watch
humankind.
That's why I don't watch the news. There's no reason for it.
So,
in my opinion.
To be honest with you, all my camping experiences and what I know, even though I've read the news articles or heard the reports on television about people that were injured or murdered camping, the reality of it is I feel more intimidated going out in a highly populated area to go shopping than I do boondocking out in the middle of the woods.
You know what? You are right, because I think we have a false sense of security, and I'll give you a perfect example. My grandson's back window in his car was just shattered. I think it was the heat. I don't know. So since then, we got a ring cam, and now that we have a ring cam, not that I've really seen anything out here, but I get all the notifications from people that are nearby, and it really freaks me out, okay? So I think I had a false sense of security before when I didn't really know what was out there, and now when I see some of the things that are going on out there or whatever, it scares me more. So I think you're right. Why are you laughing?
Oh, I'm just thinking about all the possibilities for this camping trip. Like I could bring my Bigfoot costume.
No, but can we bring a camera?
Oh, we are going to bring a camera.
So I want to talk about something else. Well, we had talked about this, I guess not just this time when we're talking about boondocking and my fear of boondocking, and then we were talking about the AT before. And you had mentioned something that I didn't realize, that when I say that I'm afraid of something where you're taking the lead on to take me to, and that you're being the man, you kind of take that as an insult. And I don't mean it that way. I didn't even know you took it that way.
Well, I know you don't consciously intend to belittle me or insult me, but
oh, I can.
It is kind of a blow to your ego that realizes somebody doesn't have the confidence in you and your judgments that you think they should.
So I wanted to bring that up because I don't think I'm the only woman that has this, okay? Well, that's funny.
You're certainly not the only woman who's ever doubted her spouse.
No, but it's not doubting the spouse. It's that we're so afraid of the unknown.
Right.
Okay? It's not so much a doubting of you, but it's a fear of what's out there. And it's not so much that we're thinking, can he protect me? Can he keep me safe? Right. We're more worried about what's out there, and where, I don't know, I guess the macho man thinking is more as I'll keep her safe. We're not thinking of that. We're just thinking of what's bad and out there that could hurt us.
You know, I think that maybe just by nature, since men tend to be a little more outdoor oriented than women, they've perhaps just over time become a little bit more resourceful about life in the outdoors. And I don't want to sound sexist, but I think that this, you know, there are probably males that are also intimidated by the whole concept of going out camping or boondocking. I mean, we get into the subject of camping when I'm in a mixed group, and there's definitely a lot more negativism about camping from the women than there are from the men, and most of it has to do with fears, not just the roughness or the discomfort, you know, the lack of amenities.
The fear of what?
The fear of harm, of being harmed, either by a bug, a snake, a bear, or humans, or the environment itself, you know, falling down a mountainside or off a cliff. Or...
Mm-hmm. So I think, you know, I'm speaking to the men out there, you know, give your wives a little bit of a break. I think some of us really do have this fear built in us. We, you know, are weaker physically, and that's not a cut, okay? But the truth is, women are physically weaker most of the time than men. So that makes us much more vulnerable. So we're aware of our vulnerabilities like that. And, you know, it can be scary out there. I mean, a lot of women, too, don't want to be out there because, you know, they don't have all the luxuries. And it's the dirt and the dust and the sweat and the bugs. And I get that, you know. It's not my favorite part of camping, believe me. It's really not. But some women just cannot tolerate it. Some men can't tolerate it either. So any advice you have for us Yankee boondockers, put it in the description below. So in the last video, I mentioned that we started a drone fund. We purchased a much pricier drone for the channel so we can get better quality images and video for you guys. So we started a drone fund, and I said I would give a shout out to anyone who donated. So our first donator was Bruce First, who donated through Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you, Bruce. And if anyone wants to know how to contribute, you can use PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, buy something through our Amazon store. Just remember to let us know, write drone in the subject so we know that that's what it's for. Thank you so much. Okay, here are the bloopers. This is what we have to contend with while trying to tape. Well, come on. Say hi, this is our son.
And our dog.
And there's a crazy dog.
Okay.
So that'll definitely hit the blooper reel. And here's his fiance. Do you want to get in the picture too?
Hold on.
So, what were we saying?
We're talking about fear of boondocking.
This is my future daughter-in-law, Maylene. Say hey.
Hello.
So she's been in some videos before. They come over and visit the dogs. So, hang on. If you guys want to come down, just come down and I'll just edit that.
Okay. Here, wait.
Because I see he's moving around up there. That's fine. David's already got into it. So you must say hi. Yep. Say hi, Brian.
Hello.
That's Brian. And that's Caitlin.
Hi.
All right. There we go. We have all we need is the dogs. Oh wait, and Kayla.
They're probably coming.
Thank you.
Hang on. Come on down. Oh, here comes the last one. Say hi. That's Kayla. Oh, she's not saying hi.
Scoot on through.
That's a wrap, everyone. You know what to do if you like this video.
You all come back now, you hear?